To be an actor is to continuously work on yourself. Actually, people can define it in multiple ways. We all know the methods, the process. There's an actor has to truthfully live in circumstances which are imaginary, and it's all about action. So whatever my inner world is, whatever the inner world I develop, whatever character study I do, whatever I go by, the backstories, the internalization of the process, knowing my lines, everything has to culminate into actions. The acting is such a difficult craft. The problem is that some of the best actors, Bachchan Saab, Anthony Hopkins, you watch all of them, they make it look so easy and simple that the hard work, amount of hard work, preparation, their knowledge of the craft is so much that everybody looks and says, yaar ye main bhi kar sakta hu. Being an actor is making it look so simple and so easy. There's actually no fixed process that an actor follows. There are some actors who are just method actors. There are some actors who follow, say, Meisner technique. I am not one of them. I have learned Meisner, I've learned method, I've learned techniques from Natya Shastra. You end up doing movement psychology. You end up working with subconscious mind and dreams.
Yeah.
Everything that you've learned, animal work you do. So as an actor, you do all these processes and then you practice them. You see what resonates and lives within you.
Bombay is not a place; it's a feeling, and we all relate with
Yes,
that statement.
Bombay is a feeling. Bombay is an emotion.
It's an emotion.
Yeah.
Mental health is so important, and if cinema becomes an escape, if it becomes a medium for people to find that solace or hope or trust or companion, then you are saving lives. Arfi.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Megha.
We are in Mumbai and the year is 2024. Can you close your eyes for me?
Sure.
Go back to your childhood, the year of your choice. What were your dreams like? You can open your eyes.
Being in films was never a part of any dream I ever had in my life. No, so many of my colleagues, so many friends who are artists, they say, oh, they always wanted to be an artist, but I never wanted to be an artist. I was good in studies. Engineering was an obvious choice. It's not that I was kind of forced to do engineering. But I never thought I can be an actor. I never went on stage. I was not into dramatics. It's not that I'm not good in dramatics. I was not into dramatics. मैं स्टेज पे तो कभी गया ही नहीं था. I would go for speeches, for debates, but for nothing else. I'll be super nervous and make your points and you do this and you win or you come out of it, and then never look back at stage again. And मैं गाना चाहता था. Yeah, singing I wanted to do, but my voice was so bad that I was discouraged so badly that I never thought कि कुछ कर सकता हूँ मैं. Yeah, but no, Bombay 2024. I could never have dreamt of. No.
How was that 12, 13-year-old kid in Megha, if I'm not wrong?
Yes.
How was that kid? And engineering, फिर acting, फिर production, producer, that entire journey, if you had to sum up of not what happened, but how did that kid evolve in the process? What would you say?
I come from a big joint family like most of us do, and I was probably the apple of every eye. That gave me a little bit of chip on my shoulder, which Bombay and Delhi had to take off in their own harsh ways. But and then I was excelling in studies. I was good in everything that I would do, and I would only do things that I'd be good at, either ways, smartly. And I did engineering with distinction, was good there also. Went to Delhi to do a job that in that year, we got a job in third year of engineering college. Wow. That never happens, generally for fourth year you're placed and all. We were lucky, my seniors were not placed and we were placed, and for one of the finest jobs on the campus. So, that kid has evolved to be a very different human being, somebody who's in touch with himself, somebody who's more compassionate, somebody who doesn't carry a chip on the shoulders, somebody who genuinely has started believing he's an artist, somebody who believes in art and is creating art. So,
beautiful.
Different worlds, different personalities altogether.
Precisely to do this, to help people believe in the artist in themselves, to help them unlock the artist within themselves and just find their voice is why we created this platform called Voice of Artist. So welcome to Voice of Artist. How are you feeling?
Well, first of all, I must congratulate you. When we met for this and you told me about this idea, I was actually tongue-tied, you know. You saw me, right? I didn't expect you and Anush to come and, you know, present something which would be like, wow. And thank you for having me. This is an amazing concept, and I'm glad that, you know, I'm in the first round and I'm here with you guys and we are doing this.
Who knows what the future is?
Sorry?
Who knows what the future is?
Who knows what the future holds, yes.
So Arfi, what is it to be an artist, and specifically what it is to be an actor?
You know, to be an actor is to continuously work on yourself. Actually, you know, people can define it in multiple ways. You know, we all know the methods, the process. You know, there's an actor has to truthfully live in circumstances which are imaginary, and it's all about action. You know, so whatever my inner world is, whatever the inner world I develop, whatever character study I do, whatever I go by, the backstories, the internalization of the process, knowing my lines, everything has to culminate into actions. The acting is such a difficult craft, you know. The problem is that some of the best actors, you know, Bachchan Saab, Anthony Hopkins, you watch all of them, they make it look so easy and simple that, you know, I mean, the hard work, amount of hard work, preparation, the knowledge of the craft is so much that everybody looks and says, yaar, main bhi kar sakta hu, you know. Being an actor is making it look so simple and so easy that you do so much of work at the back and, you know, make it happen. Being an artist is something that is a lifelong process, you know. I think an artist creates in a void. Mm-hmm. You will never get to know my process, but you will only see the result, you know. Sometimes the result can be good, sometimes the result can be bad, and if I'm an artist and I'm a performing artist, I'll be judged by it, which is all fine. But my process, my efforts, my frustrations, my things, how I reach inside, how I create my inner world, how I heal myself, how I deal with my own traumas, how I find myself, that is a process that's very special. And, you know, I think it's a privilege of an artist to do that process and to create in a void.
You're saying to be a good artist, you need to know yourself.
You cannot be a good artist if you don't know yourself. You cannot be a good artist if you carry your traumas and you don't heal and deal with them. You cannot be a good artist if you've not understood your own blockades. I mean, we do complex characters, you know. The only way you can do a complex character without faking it and living it truthfully is when you've had that kind of a growth. When you've dealt with similar circumstances in life. Life will be your biggest teacher. There is no other way. You have to live profoundly, you have to fall in love, you have to get your heartbreaks, you have to live through all the emotions.
So what you talked about is so important for people to understand. The great actors make acting look so easy.
Yeah.
It's the process and the background work that is important. Talk to us about that process, because people need to know what all we see 2 hours of something in the 70mm screen, but
right.
What all goes behind to bring that out.
You know, this actually, by the way, I should credit the line rightfully to Ashok Kumar, the first superstar that India ever had. And, you know, Ashok Kumar's daughter, late Bharti Jaffrey, was my teacher, was my friend, was my philosopher and guide. She would tell all of this, you know, all the time. And I learned acting from her also, you know, where so there's actually no fixed process that an actor follows, you know. There are some actors who are just method actors. There are some actors who follow, say, Meisner technique. I am not one of them. I have learned Meisner, I've learned method, I've learned techniques from Natya Shastra. You end up doing movement psychology. You end up working with subconscious mind and dreams.
Yeah.
Everything, you know, that you've learned, animal work you do, you know. So as an actor, you do all these processes and then you practice them. You see what resonates and lives within you. And while you're doing something, you're preparing for a character, the basic steps are the same, you know. You go, you study, you read, you see what comes out of you, you know, naturally, instinctively. Calculate that, then you do a backstory, you try to understand your character, your lines are the king. Whatever is given to you is the Bible, you know. In that Bible lies the entire character. You don't have to make too much of it. You can find a backstory will have to justify every single line that is there, you know. The process is to find that real backstory that can resonate throughout the script and your character journey. Once you found the character, once you actually got the hold of the person that you're playing, then it's easy. The scene can change, the dialogues can change, the lines can change. You will not be doing anything which is not going to be truthful.
So you said to be an actor, you have to connect and resonate with the character.
Right.
what if you do a supremely negative character which there is no way you can ever live that life or have people around you who have lived that life? How do you manage then?
No, but even if there's a supremely great character, we've not lived that life. And
Brilliant
acting is actually all about, if I am playing, say, a murderer, killing someone, I possibly can never kill someone. I know myself so much. But you have to go into the journey of the character in a way that I believe the character. I believe the circumstances under which he might have killed. Even when the circumstances are all wrong, even if there's a villain who commits a villainous act, they do it when they believe it. So you can't, the basic rule says you can't judge your character. The moment the judgment comes in, you can't play it right. You can't play it well.
How to stop your niceness from coming in the way of this?
When you start from the backstory and you start understanding why this person is like this, why this character is going through this, even when it's a absurdly negative person, absurdly, there is a story why a person is like that. Once you actually
the life justifies
go through
it.
that, once you try to build that story and backstory and justify everything that is going on, it's very easy to play. Then you believe into that, buy into that world.
For a lay person who's the audience, we've seen a lot of stories where the actors have gone so much into the character that their real life gets altered. What is your perspective on that?
That's not me. But I know that, not to take away from anyone who works that hard, goes into method, really so deeply that they live the character in a way that it becomes a part of them. I'd rather subscribe to more like Tabu's school of acting, where, she can switch off, switch on. That's how we know, that's what we've heard of from our interviews and all, She's someone who can quickly get into it and get out. That's also like a great, being a great artist to be able to do that, But I think I'm able to switch off, go back, take rest, and then come back to the set and, again, work and get into the character.
There is hard work, there is process, there is self-awareness.
Yes.
Is there something, I don't know, X factor, unknown energy, like what happens to you as an actor, the switch on, switch off that you mentioned, with the action and rolling, what changes? How do you explain that?
Oh my God, you have asked me something that I have been thinking about from past couple of weeks,
And we've not talked about this.
No, I'm like, it's like when I'm supposed to audition for a part and, you generally get shortlisted for auditions, a lot of auditions, but you tend to not make through all of them. Rejections are way more, the number of rejections are way more than, the roles that you bag. So it's like, there's a resistance to now give an audition. That translates into when a job comes, on the first day of the nervousness of, will I be able to do it now? Can I do this part? But the moment you land on the set and, the cameras are there, the lights switch on, you smell the lights, you smell the environment, and that changes something in you. I don't know what it is, is it the love for the craft? Is it the passion? It's like you switch on the lights of the set, you get into the costume, something switches on in you.
Something shifts.
I don't know. At the moment the camera is on, everything else disappears. There are times when there are 200 people on set. And you just, there's a close-up. Your scene partner is also not able to give you the lines. The girl you're probably romancing, she's not able to give you the lines, and lines are being given by the assistant of the cameraman, because that's the person, you're first aid, second aid, God knows. And you're able to deliver the same emotion because something with the camera. Something with the camera that kind of stills you, controls you. That camera is present, everything else disappears. You're like, I'm doing it I'm romancing the camera right now.
Arfi, we talked about what it is to be an actor and the importance of an individual going through that journey as an artist, as an actor.
Right.
But an actor is a part of an ecosystem.
Right.
So how does an actor, or how does somebody who wants to be an actor ensure that they are in the right ecosystem which nurtures them, which supports them?
I mean, if you talk about the business of cinema, if you talk about the business of art, when you start, you are the last one who can define it for yourself. You're the last person who can actually dictate this. But as you go along your journey, if you stay true to what you want to do, हम यूं ही चलते गए, karma बनता गया. You have to stick to doing the right thing and you keep on finding the right people. The power will never rest in being a part of a big clique. The power will always rest in staying true and finding those true, 4, 10, 15, and then you as a clique you are a power, but you're the right clique to have the power, then there are other cliques, it's not like when we always try to belong somewhere else where we don't belong, when we try to fit into something, we always fail. But when we try to create our own self and find weird people like us, all weirdos, we have a clique and we have a better clique and we have more power. Ecosystems are important, but I really wouldn't know how to create them, I just think that as an artist you can try to be yourself all the time and stay true, and then your tribe will come.
Interesting.
Or you will get to your tribe.
Right. So then, what about collaboration? Why I'm asking this question is because in any field, and especially as an actor, the success becomes very individualistic.
Yeah.
From there, how do you have or continue having a collaborative mindset?
Yeah, no, oh my God, this is a beautiful question.
Thank you.
I think as an artist, every level is collaboration. As an actor, every level is collaboration. But you're bang on. When I'm acting, it's individual. My success stays my success, and if you're another actor, your success stays your success, and we are not, somehow the industry is such, somehow our craft as an actor is such, somehow we are trained in an environment where I want to keep it like that. But it should be collaborative. Why is it not? I don't know. If I'm the lead actor of that film and the film gets successful, I'll hog all the limelight, I'll take it all. I would not let it go to probably a co-actor who's probably playing a smaller part or somebody else. The papers and the posters will also pull me up when the film is all about everyone. Every single scene is. अगर मेरा scene आपके साथ अच्छा है, that it's not because I'm a good actor. It's also because you reacted very well to that.
Right.
It's because the scene looked good.
Right.
If they say no star can be bigger than the film they act in, and no actor can be bigger than the character they play, unless you merge into the character in the film. And हम ये लाइनें सब बहुत fancy बोलते हैं, I say, but you're right. I don't know how to answer that, because I have also been in spaces where when you get that success, you want to keep it close to yourself.
Right.
But I think that's the paradox you live in. You want to be the true artist and you want to break that mold all the time.
Yeah.
And also deal with that insecurity, how I'm going to go next, what I'm going to do next, and how shall I be a better artist.
And there's no right and wrong here, obviously, because you are the one who is going so deep into that character and bringing it out on screen, but a writer wrote it.
Yeah.
A director visualized it. And it's a combination of everyone's effort, which ultimately one person is bringing out to life.
Right. No, and also just to catch on to this thought that what you said, the one credit that I give to OTT platforms, especially when suddenly internet became the place for all of us to, showcase our talent. I bring a bigger part to life, or I bring a shorter part to life, smaller part. It has stopped mattering. Could I bring it to life properly?
Yeah.
People watch it and they go like, usko chhod, usko dekh. And then it goes on to word of mouth on Instagram, on social media, and all saying, did you see that actor? Did you see that actor? That's making everybody who's bigger also to collaborate with younger artists, saying that okay, yaar wo acha kaam kar raha hai, usko saath mein lo. Let's make a better product. But I think it will all stem from how good an artist you are to collaborate with other artists. And I also feel earlier I'd be very conflicted about यार मैं अच्छा एक्टर हूँ, मुझे मतलब मैं दूसरे अच्छे एक्टर के साथ ही काम करूँ, किसी और के साथ क्यों नहीं करूँ. But now I'm at peace with that. I want to grow as an artist. That's my job. That's my passion. That's what I am. So I would like to work with artists from whom I can learn, or I would like to work with artists whom I'm teaching something. We should grow. Otherwise, it's no fun. You can be a really great artist. I can be a really great artist, but there's an ego. There's a clash going on. I'd rather leave that space.
Right.
None of us is gonna get anything. Neither are we gonna grow. It's gonna be a shit collaboration.
So this is interesting because you said मैं जिस level का actor हूँ उसी level का actor versus the spectrum.
Yeah.
Is there a spectrum? Like, is there a quantified spectrum? Who is a good actor? Like, is it a 10 by 10? No. Is there a 1 by 10?
Oh my God, no. We all have our good days and bad days, and we need to recognize that. We need to be okay with. Nobody asks an engineer, that your last job was so good and this job is so bad. It's your experience. You keep on working on jobs and you keep on getting promoted and all. We don't have anything like that. We are as good as our last job.
As an actor, you choose a script if you like the film and then your character.
Right.
As a producer, you like the merit of the story.
So as a producer, I know my limitation, where I stand in terms of the producer land, what level you are at. And I know that, okay, this is a great script, but it needs to be put together with, say, probably better artists or artists who are saleable as per the market. So we let that go. But as an actor, I don't find those limitations. As an actor, it's like, it's a great film. I can do every part. I know myself. I know my craft and I know my work. So the only criteria will be, is the film good? Is my character something that I can add to? Great, I'll do it. I don't think whether it has to be big, small. That's not my job, and I would like to do every part. But here it becomes like you're supposed to take the film from level 1 to the end of it and finally make it and bring it to audience. So that limitation you see and you're like, okay, this is really small. If I will enter, maybe I'm at a level, where it'll make it super expensive, but this film has to be at a certain budget. Or this film is super expensive. I would not be able to raise that thing, so I just stay at what we can do.
We'll come back to the producer bit a little later, because I want to talk to you about something which you just said. You said, I don't care if the part is small or big.
Right.
And the way you started your acting journey, where you must have given some 1,000 odd auditions and you got a part to which you said, "Arey, this looks like a small part," you almost said no to it, which eventually became Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah.
So from that to this, what changed?
Nothing has changed. I'm as insecure. The moment you bring me a smaller part, and I know that there are other actors doing, every kind of insecurity comes in, that why I was not considered for this, why I was not considered for this, do I not look good enough, is it like something else that they don't find me good, am I not that good an actor, have they not seen my recent work, everything comes. But you always take yourself back and remind yourself, of this great line, there are no small actors, there are no small roles, only small actors, so then you're like, okay, the problem is here. So I've changed my criteria to, I openly say it. In saying, we do a lot of things. Saying, when you say it again and again, it also becomes your belief. I say it all the time that if my character is serving the story, is serving the film, I'm on. If my character is just serving other characters and I'm just kind of if I'm a key to something, small, big, doesn't matter, and I kind of stick to that.
You're like part of the bigger picture, and you realize and find the confidence.
This character has to, can it stand on its own, is this scene important? If I take the scene out, what will happen to the script? Something's going to happen to the script. I need this. Oh, it could be as long, but it could be as long, but that it's not adding, you can take this character everywhere out, nothing changes. So you're like, no, I don't want to do that. It could be as long, it could be as big a part,
So the definition of small and big actually changed in your mind, in your journey so far.
It did.
And I want to applaud you and take a moment to just talk about this insecurity bit, because insecurity word has a very negative connotation in general, but what you're describing as an actor, the insecurity is not about feeling small, it's actually trying to reach that pseudo perfection stage which may or may not exist, but trying to become better and better is what gets perceived as insecurity. It's not actually a negative connotation of insecurity that you want to be better than somebody else. You're actually competing with yourself, is what you're saying.
All the time you have to compete with yourself. It's but then the lines are so blurred. If you can easily, you have to keep on checking yourself all the time. What is it that I'm like? Another thing that another emotion that people attach a lot of negative connotation to is jealousy. And I know that when I'm jealous, it's because I immediately tell myself, you wanted to do this part. You're jealous because it has been done so well that you feel like, oh my God, and I immediately start feeling happy. Ever since I attributed a new meaning to it, the moment I'm jealous, I'm like, yes, let's clap for this person, because they've done such an amazing job, which you wanted to do, that's why you're jealous, I think it's redefining most of the things,
What would you tell to all those actors or actors to be who are starting out to handle this? Because it's such a complex emotion that you have to go through as any artist, especially as an actor.
I would say that if you're starting out, don't do the mistakes that I do, let's all just follow blindly the journey of Shah Rukh Khan, he's so openly spoken about it all the time. Whatever comes your way, take it up. Prove yourself. Do not try to judge it. In the beginning, like I said, I was like, when I did small part in Slumdog, I was very clear, after this I'm only going to do lead roles. I did Prague, I did Fugly, I did Singh's Bliing, I missed out on chances. It's only post Singh's Bliing the phase came where I realized, that to be an artist is a very different deal than to just become an actor who's chasing fame all the time. And I was chasing fame all the time before that. So, coming back to all the young actors right now, just keep on working on your craft. I train myself even now. You get a chance to train yourself, go train yourself. You have time. In the beginning, you have a lot of time. You're not getting booked so often. Do your scenes. You have cameras nowadays. Record each other. Do something. Say yes to every part that comes your way. Do more of theatre, and you would not know. One day you look back and you would have a body of work that will make you a star.
Theatre. Let's go to theatre now.
Yeah.
I won't ask any question. Whatever comes to your mind, and then I will
No, theatre is an actor's medium. Theatre is where we are most alive. Theatre is what should scare you the most. Theatre is also where you are alive the most, you know. So also, you know, the school that I come from, I learned it from Dinesh Thakurji. Now you practice everything, you know the beats, you know the movement, you know what you're supposed to feel, you know how you're supposed to say a certain line. With a co-actor who's supposed to respond to and react to you in a certain way. Before we'll start, Dinesh ji would say, "Sab bhul jao." Whatever you're feeling at that moment, instinctually do that.
It's so scary.
Whatever, oh my God. But you know, when you do multiple shows, if you start sticking to the notes, it starts becoming mundane, you know. For you also, you know that I've not done my best, you know. You start feeling, अरे मतलब मैं repeat कर रहा हूँ, मजा ही नहीं आ रहा है. It's only when you just forget, let the lines instinctually happen, and that only theatre does to you. As an actor, I would like to go back to theatre every now and then to recharge myself. It's a privilege to be in a theatre. Indian theatre doesn't pay you. We don't have the glamour that Broadway has. We don't have awards. We don't have Tonys in India. But still, I am not vying for any of that. I am just vying to go back and perform. I do not even know how good I'll do, how bad I'll do, but every time I want to go back to theatre. I want to face myself, my own vulnerabilities, my own insecurities. I want to be there for only 200 people. They can watch me closely and I can give them all I have, you know. It's like, it's such an intense experience. It changes something in you every time.
Who do you look up to in the theatre world? Who do you look up to?
So many. I mean, the list is endless. Every actor who goes and performs on theatre, I find them so courageous, you know. And any new play that is opening up, I try to go and watch. Like Equus is opening, we can't promote, I'm sure, you know, but then I'm going to go for that, you know. And of course, you know, all of us, if you ask for one great actor, you know, we all will vie towards Nasiruddin Shah on stage, you know. It's a treat to watch him, it's a privilege to watch him perform.
You've seen The Father?
Yes.
It's heart-wrenchingly beautiful. The live audience versus camera. What's the different in the actor's approach? Like theatre versus film?
Film allows me a lot more takes. Film allows me also, camera also allows me, you know, that if I'm feeling a little off, you know, I can take for a break, I can ask, I can get back, and I can be real, you know. I know myself, I can watch myself, I can do a lot of things. There, I have no second chance. I have taken a note down. I will make sure that the note goes up. I am finding my instincts. At the same time, I'm observing myself. There, the presence as an actor, the craft is so present for you. You are so present for yourself. You know, you can't. There are actors who do long plays for long, you know. And my recent has been only a 16-minute skit play that we did, 16 minutes only. In those 16 minutes, I was there for every line, everything. I was like, oh my God, how much of energy, passion and love was needed to carry that through.
Yeah,
that is, I mean, if you ask me, my first love will always be camera. It's, to be honest, it's easier to do it, and you know, and the audience is huge and everything and all. But if I want to stay true and if I want to feel more alive, that's always theatre. You go back there, you're scared, you're back to like your initial days. Every single performance is like I'm performing for the first time. वो हम बोलते हैं ना, even in front of camera we says, we do a scene again, it's for the first time you're doing it, you have to do it like that. In theatre, you can do multiple plays, multiple shows, but every time you touch the stage, you are as scared, you are as nervous, you have as many butterflies, and you're like again living it up.
Being a theatre artist, has that changed the way you live your life in general? I
would say, rather than saying being a theatre actor or being a film actor, what has changed my life more, I would say being an actor has changed my life a lot.
Sure.
The last workshop that I did, in 2017 I did a workshop with Sandra Seacat in Berlin. She's one of the biggest acting teachers we had, and it was all about dreams and subconscious, and that looked like what a mad idea. What we would do is that, you know, we would come and she'd give some assignment, we're supposed to read our assignment and then sleep. At night, some strange dream will come to you. You have to believe it will come to you. You have to keep your recorder on. You just switch open your phone, you're on the recorder, you record whatever random rambling you will do, and then you will perform that either as a ritual or as a scene. And in doing those things, somehow the character will become clear. I am still not very sure of how the process happened, how it will do some things. You know, I need to maybe work on this process for, you know, with the teacher for another years and years before I get it. But that kind of made sure that, you know, I understand the value of working on myself and my traumas and going into my subconscious mind. That, you know, there's a method aa gaya, mujhe ye aa gaya, mujhe Meisner technique aa gaya, mujhe sab aa gaya. But then came this technique that made me feel, this is all tools that you have, but you gotta go inside.
If you talk about subconscious, you are going into your subconscious and healing yourself, or at least being aware of who you are, what you are, which also means you're believing in a bigger, I would say, energy.
Yeah, isn't it all inside and outside the same? The more you go deep in, you're trying to touch the same thing, which is everywhere.
Is acting meditative for you?
I am not good in meditations. I can't sit still. I've got a bit of ADHD, and so meditation is definitely not for me. I often think what will happen if I do Vipassana. This is one of my favorite time pass. I'm like, मैं किसका मर्डर करूँगा, कौन सी छत और दीवार में तोड़ के भागूंगा. But acting is way more than that. The days I'm on set and the days I'm in front of camera, especially if I'm doing theatre, they are transformative. They're like a breeze. Those days pass like as if I'm in a dreamland. So
meditation need not be sitting still.
Yeah, that is a meditation.
That's not that what you're doing is actually meditation, because meditation. Osho has talked about, and even in Japan the philosophy is even drinking tea, for example, the way you're picking up the cup and looking at the glass and feeling it, breathing it, everything can be meditation. So
you remind me of this book that I should give it to you. There are rare copies of that. I have some collection of rare books with me, and one of them is this Zen book that says, and it's so beautifully done, you should read the book, but it says, when you're cutting a potato, you're cutting a potato. That's it. That's being Zen.
Yeah.
When you cut the potato, just cut the potato.
Do that.
Do that, yeah. And it's so beautiful to understand it and to try to do it. Yeah.
For the uninitiated who might find this conversation a little too esoteric, or in a conflict with this mere speed of life that we live in, and especially in Bombay when the day just goes by.
Right.
What would you tell those artists in general or actor in specific? How to ground yourself, or how to be present, and how to cut the potato when you're cutting the potato?
I mean, like everyone else, even we have to remind ourselves, that, like you just reminded me again, that's again, the same thing. Every artist is on the same journey. I feel we all get lost in this world, in this speed, and we all love Bombay, we all, somehow Bombay gets into your veins like a drug, and then you can never you can never leave it. It's like one of those drugs that you now want forever. So I think, like you said, maybe that is also meditation, running around and doing things and all. Then you take a pause saying, what have I done? Am I really running, I can only tell people that just be aware. There is no harm in just running like a madman, but there's a big harm in realizing that I'm getting burnt out and I'm not stopping. Pausing is very important. Breathing is very important. So, but do it when you want to do it. Do not
do it because somebody asked you to.
Yeah.
Bombay is not a place, it's a feeling, and we all relate with that statement.
Bombay is a feeling. Bombay is an emotion.
It's an emotion.
Yeah.
And your company's name has Bombay in it. Bombay Berlin Productions.
Bombay Berlin.
Through that, how do you see cinema blurring the boundaries across the world, across countries?
In the beginning, the aim was that, European cinema is very artistic, and, we have such amazing stories in India, but we tell them through one lens, which is a very commercial lens. I mean, there has been amazing artist movement. I'm not trying to deny anything else that was existing, but we thought that modern storytelling let's take our great stories, and we have so many people, we have so many stories, and let's try to merge that with what Europe is doing and, make a mix of it. And I don't know how that's a very big thing, how we want to change anything, but we as a company, our ethos are very clear. The story has to have an impact.
On
your heart. Even if it impacts 5 people, it should impact. It shouldn't be like, even if it's laughter and entertainment, but it's making you feel something, it's great. It can't just be some senseless thing, that you go out and you forget. It has to stay with you. Otherwise, I mean, those stories are great too. They kind of relax us, they entertain us, they have their own value. But Bombay Berlin is producing only that's a story that has an impact, that stays with you, that makes you think, that starts a conversation. So that's what we're trying to do in Bombay Berlin.
Is there any commonality
to impact stories?
Yeah.
I think impact stories are gaining so much of prominence, and bang on question in terms of that the world's gonna get divided. This filmmaking and cinema is gonna get divided into impact films and non-impact films. It's happening. It's very well being documented all over. We had protagonists doing all of that. amazingly, every 21 projects that they did, 21 projects, had an impact strategy. Suddenly we all woke up to, I mean, of course a lot of films were doing all of that, without so much of funds being diverted towards impact. But when they, for example, when they did Roma, they ensured that the legislation comes out in America which kind of protects the domestic workers coming from outside the country, So they just didn't make a film. They lobbied for that legislation, So Protagonist kind of showed, that there's more to filmmaking, it's not just that cinema on the screen has to make you feel and do something, but let's do more with it. So impact is going to be, we'll see that the world will be impact stories and rest of the stories.
My understanding has been that the reason why cinema came into existence, whether in the beginning, in the history of time with Lumiere brothers, and even from the beginning of camera and everything, it was because it is the tool which reaches the maximum audience, and there is an impact from the beginning of it. So I find it very interesting that you say
cinema has been impacting lives, even when it's just entertainment. We switch off for those 3 hours from a life that may be tough, and then we get impacted by some kind of entertainment, laughter, mind switches off, and then we can rethink, go back to life again. What I meant was that, the focus on issue-based things.
Understood.
Like, Dark Waters is one of the examples.
Right.
And even when you take a film like, Lapata Ladies.
Yeah.
It's been there, but,
started a conversation.
Yes. And we need to, it's not just that. Mirch Masala was already there, that its own impact, Films have been there that have made their encore. They made their own impact, they've been there. But now, with Lapata Ladies, there was an active effort from the end of producers to start the conversation, to push it, to make sure that the conversation just doesn't die down in the hearts of the 5 people who watched it together, but to bring it out there. That is what the impact will be. Now when Bombay Berlin will be doing films, our aim is that people have marketing budgets, huge marketing budgets. Our marketing budgets will have however small, big it is, will have a major portion into impact. We want to do that.
This is so interesting because you're creating a very structured approach into a creative field and linking it to not just ROI, which is return on investment, but also ROV, return on value. How?
Yeah.
Right?
And I shouldn't take credit, Protagonist did it. They kind of structured it for all of us. Unfortunately, they shut down, and I don't know if it's going to sound controversial, but I stand by this statement, and I believe one of the best things that could have happened to the industry is that when Protagonist shut down, all those people who worked there for 20 years, now they're all in the market. They will start their own impact stories, their own impact films. They'll go to different companies. They'll change culture all over the industry. That's what's going to be amazing. It's really sad Protagonist is no longer working, but
they've created such change ambassadors.
Yes, they will impact the entire ecosystem.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We had this philosophy and thought behind Voice of Artist where we wanted to promote. Okay, it's a very bold statement, but we are imagining a world where art is above chart, which means you create art for the sake of art, and the chart should ideally become the byproduct of it. Because if your film is really, really good, it will do good, or it will find its audience. It's a very, I like your smile right now because it's a very idealistic.
No. 2009, 2010, the first article I ever did, Screen, Bhavna ji had commissioned it, Bhavna Sumaya, and it's after Slumdog. The headline of that was, "My stardom should be a byproduct of my art and my acting." I did not know this. Smile was because I had a deja vu, I have that article framed, because that was so pure, That was when I was starting out and when I was naive and I was just coming from pure passion that I've just been an engineer, most of the times when we come from outside the industry, from a different field, we are fascinated by films primarily by the art of it, by saying, oh, I am going to be an artist now, I want to do art, and you study more and you read more and,
The privilege of being an artist is what we were talking about. While all the jobs are important and everybody plays a role in the economy and society.
The very DNA of being an artist is truth. You search for truth, you live the truth, you move towards truth all the time. And in doing so, you can't appease anyone. You're seeking the truth. And I'm not saying you're at absolute truth all the time, but the exploration of truth happens through expression. And when your expression comes from that, you are not supposed to make everyone comfortable, or you're not supposed to think what is this going to do. You just do the truth, you just speak the truth, you just express the truth. You know that Banksy line. The purpose of an artist is, or art is, to comfort the disturbed and disturb the comforted.
Beautiful.
As an artist, it's your job, it's your duty, it's your privilege that you can actually be against the grain, say things that can make people sit up and think, you know, put that googly into the whole system and let the system spin. If artists will also start confirming, then, you know, we're not doing our job, we're not building, like an engineer, I'm not building a bridge then, you know, then I'm probably faking it all up. If I'm actually building the bridge, if I'm actually being a doctor and doing cutting edge research, as an artist, I'm actually speaking the truth, I'm doing the truth, I'm seeing what is around me, you know, like this famous, you know, when there was a case put on Manto Saab for Kali Shalwar. In his defense, when he went to the court, he said that it's not my job to do makeup on you and make you look good. I'm the mirror to the society. If you are ugly, you will look ugly. You don't want to look ugly, you change yourself. I am an artist, I'm going to document and speak the truth and show you the truth as it is. I think these are the lines to live by as an artist.
It's so empowering, actually, while it might sound very intimidating also, that, you know, you have the responsibility, but at the same time it is the privilege to speak the truth. It's so beautiful. I think a couple of years ago I written this line, this poem which went like, a firefly, a desert dry, a heart that is shy. If you look at me, all you will see is many versions, and some of them, if not many, will have some parts of you also. It's like I am a mirror with many versions, and you also exist.
Oh my God, so that is what we do as actors. In those many versions, this character, if it's going through certain trauma, certain difficulty, and the characters, in characters journey, they have to overcome an obstacle. In that version, if that is my version I'm going through, is where I connect and get healed. That's the job. It could be funny, it could be entertainment, it could be comedy, you know, but you take something from that and you come out. And it kind of troubles me, you know, how to place art there, you know. We are not saving lives at the border, but we are saving lives. We are not healing people who are wounded, but we are actually healing souls who are wounded at some point, you know.
Yeah.
And the value of that, I don't know, you know, where it stands and where it lies.
No, I mean, it's pretty straightforward actually, and you've said this in the conversation, because one thing is saving physical lives, but today we are aware enough to keep mental health also at, if not the same level, maybe equal, if not above, but equal. You know, mental health is so important, and if cinema becomes an escape, if it becomes a medium for people to find that solace or hope or trust or companion, then you are saving lives.
The day we start saying, choose that difficult life, success will come later, money may come later, but do what you want to do, is when I will believe that the art has found its value. As of now, still, you know, we all want to ensure that the kids have a secure life, that we don't see in art. Art is a lot of exploration, like I say, in the void and with your own self, you know, that's what makes you an artist.
So, with this practicality of life, how to choose art?
I mean, you're banned, you can't, art will choose you.
Wow.
Literally, art will choose you. Art will choose you. I think we all live lives in some kind of a context always, you know. And in my context, if I'm not satisfied, an artist will not be satisfied in a context. An artist will try to break out of the context. You will try to confirm, but you'll not be able to confirm. And that DNA will pull you out of everything. And art will choose you like that. Yes.
This is beautiful, because restlessness is what drives us. And that's what we call ourselves, a rebel collective.
Yes. Oh my God.
Creativity is being rebellious.
Beautiful. Creativity is being rebellious. You can't, if you're doing the same thing that somebody else has done, if you're putting still the red in the red, and then, you know, but if you're really putting, I don't know, violet in that which doesn't fit, that's what you're doing, you know, you're rebelling, you're like redefining everything.
So with this, what is Arfi's voice of artist?
Oh my God, this is so difficult, you know. So many things are coming to my mind, and all of them are borrowed. All of them are like, this teacher said that teacher said that, you know.
What is your voice of artist?
I have to find my voice of artist, but I've never forgotten one lesson that Dinesh ji had taught us for 3 long months. He would teach us acting, he would teach us something from Natya Shastra, he'd make us read Ashad Ka Ek Din, or he'd make us read some other, just Lahore nahi vekhya in class. And after doing all of that work the whole day, then at the end of the day he'll say, now forget all you've learnt. Go out and do an act of kindness. If you can't be a good human being, you can't be an artist ever. And I actually try to live by the diktat. To be a good artist is one thing, art, exploration and all. It will all boil down to what kind of a human being are you? Are you kind? So I would like to borrow from that and make sure that my voice is the voice of kindness, is the voice of rebellion, at the same time is the voice of many where the kindness can descend. Otherwise, we failed.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is a very nice segue to the next thing that I wanted to ask you, because as an actor and also as a producer, you have won many awards. I'm not going to go into the list of it. Whoever wants to read it, they can go and Google your profile. It is a long list of profiles with a lot of golden leaves.
You still want more of them, right? It's never enough, but yeah.
Which is fair. But with that and this thought of your voice being the voice of kindness and rebellion, what according to you is your biggest achievement so far?
Oh, the biggest achievement is that I've stayed put. I came from a very different field. I was earning monthly salary, really good salary. I was with one of the Navratans of the country, chosen, I told you, way before I even finished my engineering. So the doubt always stays. Am I in the right profession? Am I able to contribute as much? When the lull comes, when the lull comes for a long time and you're not even producing or acting, you're like, but what is the output? I am an artist, I'm doing something, am I able to impact something, that doubt is strong. And then, your loved ones, still it comes like, the discussion doesn't stop, it still comes like, chalo ab kuch kaam to kar le life mein. And you're like, but this is life. So I think one of the biggest achievements as an artist is that I've stayed put. I've stuck to the belief that I had that I will be able to do something, I will be able to impact lives, I'll be able to find myself and be happy. Anywhere else I'll not be, You want to win awards, you say, oh, I will leave a legacy and all that is fine and true. But what scares me the most if I do anything else is I will not be happy. That's it just boils down to that. Oh, I can start somebody said, let's start a restaurant. I can start a restaurant, I'll not be happy. Dad said, let's start something else, go back and I'll make money, but I won't be happy. This is what starts troubling, Maybe I'm, at that age also where everything else has stopped mattering. What has started mattering is the peace and satisfaction in what you're doing.
This is uncanny because I had a similar journey myself, and the decisions that I took at every step, I was told you're making a wrong choice, But same thought, right? I will not be happy if I do this and I get up in the morning and I might not be able to just wake up with that breezy, light feeling on my feet and just look forward to the day.
Right. That's being an artist, right? You can stay in the system, and then the restlessness will always pull you out. The art will pull you out. You will. Everybody else will keep on telling you something and they all mean well. They all see the journey. They all mean well. They come from an experience. They come from whatever else. They come from logic. On my mirror I've written 3 days ago, no logic, only magic. So you gotta be delusional if you want to be an artist, and if you're seeking success, life, everything out of it,
Right.
So yeah.
You mentioned it came with the age that you now seek peace and satisfaction. Are you also trying to say that the younger artists to be have to go through that rut and find their way through the struggles? Because you can't teach anybody, you can't give them gyan कि ऐसा करो और ऐसा हो जाएगा.
Actually, we can't emulate anyone else's journey. Your journey is your journey. The path every artist is treading is something that nobody else has walked on. So you got to make your own path. At the same time, I wish less struggles for everyone. I shouldn't say less or more. There'll be different struggles.
Yeah.
We learn. We read so much. We are artists, so we listen and we learn so much from each other. We learn so much from others' journeys. Still, the challenges that we face stay unique. Your life stays unique, So yeah, everybody has to go. And some artists actually, it's such a weird spectrum. Some find success in the beginning and then get lost in it and then get back.
Yeah.
Some of us keep on struggling. Somewhere we'll find our, joy, happiness, our perfection that we call. We'll be like, okay, this is who I am, and then again we'll get lost in self-doubt or on a new journey to find something new. It's a continuum that we live as artists.
And in that continuum, is there something specific that you would want to leave with the audience? For example, you are so well aware and connected about the larger ecosystem which is beyond just Mumbai or Indian film industry. NFDC has come on board with you and you have worked with them. There is co-production market, there are film festival circuits, there are different resources which not everybody might be aware of. What would you tell those people? How to just, what all to keep in mind?
We've come from a stage where there were gatekeepers, and then I'm not the only one, but now there are people like me who've joined the industry, and we are outsiders, and we have worked hard to be in some of those spaces, and we are not the gatekeepers. In fact, we're breaking the gatekeeping people, the gatekeeping which is there, and not just us, even in the institutions and even in the system right now. There's a lot of intent to open it all up. I think all the information is out there everywhere. You can reach out to right people. You can just go to websites. Like I said, internet has made it so democratic that everybody can access and get what they want. And I would say that what people should have is the intent. All those excuses that people have. Arey, I don't know this. Arey, they know it, and they know it better. That's no. It's all there. You don't have the intent. If you have the intent, you will reach there. Most of the times, the lack of intent, the lack of effort, the lack of initiative, we cloud it with, we cover it by saying, oh, I don't have the access, or I don't know how to do it. We also did it. Somebody else will also do it. People will keep on coming and doing it better than you all the time,
We talked about what it is to be an artist, what it is to be an actor. But I want you to talk about where does discipline come in the process of being an artist?
I mean, we were also talking about discipline, and I listen a lot about it. It's how we define discipline. Some people define it like a riyaz. We all know that if you're an artist, riyaz is the most important thing. If you're a singer, you cannot be a singer if you don't do your riyaz. I talk about training so much. If you're an actor and you don't train yourself, you will fail somewhere. You can never be fully prepared. You have to go by instincts and many other things on the spot, live in the moment, but you need to have tools. To live truthfully is one of the most difficult jobs, and we are acting all the time. We are trying to live it truthfully, and we are trying to do actions. The inner world, I know all the drama, all the turmoil inside, but I have to do it in actions. I don't have to if you say that it's an emotional scene, I don't cry. If I cry and I'm expected to cry, then it's all, the point is lost. In my actions, you will see that crying, that's the whole point. So, वो जो होता है ना कि मैं कोई डिसिप्लिन फॉलो नहीं करता, मैं कुछ नहीं करता, या तो लोग झूठ बोलते हैं, या तो आर्टिस्ट झूठ बोलते हैं, या फिर
आर्टिस्ट नहीं है,
आप कर नहीं पाओगे. हाँ, conventional discipline may not be there. Everybody doesn't need to wake up at 5, but you need to probably work later at night, and you may not be somebody who does work, कि मैं रोज अपने क्राफ्ट पे काम कर रहा हूँ, but मैं एक महीने में 10 दिन निकाल के काम करता हूँ. I'm active in doing a workshop, and then I follow that workshop till I add to my process. Then I may be doing a play. I'm doing a play. There I'm doing my riyaz. I'm going to go to gym when it's required. That's riyaz. To say that मैं just party कर रहा हूँ और मुझे काम मिलता जा रहा है और मैं जाके कूल डूड बन के जाके सेट पे सब काम कर देता हूँ, मैंने पढ़ा आपके पास और मैं जाके वापस आके दोबारा पढ़ दिया, वो नहीं हो पाएगा. If I'm doing a play and I'm rehearsing with all of you and I'm even spending the whole day, when I go back, I need to find in the morning my voice. I need to find it back. I need to see what I did yesterday with everybody around, to in my own stillness, what did I carry from that? Riyaz is discipline is riyaz. मतलब वो discipline के साथ में एक बहुत बड़ी problem है. People go into that military definition of discipline, waking at 5. No. Discipline means sticking to something, consistency of something. Yeah. Intensity will not take you far. Consistency will take you far. Habits is what will. Yes. And as an artist, that's very difficult. It's very difficult to. So there's a tricky part. If I'm being habitual and I'm doing same things and all, that's repetition and all, that's what we always say, oh no, I'm new, I want to reinvent myself, I want to experiment and all of that, so it sounds contradictory.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, don't go by the discipline word of it, go by the riyaz word of it, go by the training word of it. You have to keep on training, finding new grounds, breaking new grounds, understanding yourself, or understanding the text, read it again and again, something will come to you, all of that. ये भी तो बार-बार एक स्क्रिप्ट जो हम बोलते हैं 500 बार पढ़ो, वो भी तो रियाज ही है.
For somebody who has a job, a salary, and you've had that phase in your life early on, from there to being an artist, the word has this connotation which means freedom and liberation and everything, right? to becoming a business owner yourself.
Right.
All these three phases need different type of discipline, commitment, routine, like you said. And for somebody like me who has a job, there is an external discipline which comes with your, the timings of the job or responsibilities or accountability. But when you're on your own, so that discipline and consistency also need this other flavor, which is the self-control or self-discipline.
When I'm producing, you bang on what you said is how I am like at that time. If you're producing a film, like you're doing a job, you have to be consistent, you have to wake up, do a routine. In the middle somewhere or towards the end of it, I'm spent. I want that freedom back, which you defined in the beginning. I think it's always the actor part, the artist part of it is so heavy on everything else that even when you're earning money with that production, huge amounts of money, you're tired somewhere. You want to get back to the freedom, the daydreaming, the taking a break and a pause from everything else. There's a time when I just want to take break from everything else. But when you're producing, you can't. When you're doing a job, you can't. You're doing the job. You're still in that job. You have to find the morning. Otherwise, you'll be spent. The artist needs to find that time. You need to find that 1 hour, 1.5 hours in the morning, 2 hours when you don't want anyone to come near you.
Yeah.
You probably want your coffee or your tea or just your hot water with lemon in it, and you're like, I just want to breathe.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know it. You do the job.
Yeah.
Now you're doing this. This is probably what you love.
Yeah.
And every other day of the week from morning 9 to maybe 6, 7, you just committed to something else.
Yeah.
And then you come back. You're physically exhausted, you're mentally exhausted. But you think about this Saturday.
Right.
That will energize you.
Right.
You need to give it time.
Right.
It's a very fine, delicate balance, And it can also make us sound like कि मतलब अब discipline में तो कर रहे हैं ना job, production का job कर रहे हैं, and that's also kind of art. You're creating something every day. There's a new challenge, and then you say, I want to daydream. Is that not discipline? That is probably the discipline of an artist.
Right.
To fill your cup. Your cup gets empty very fast.
I think what you're describing is the beautiful complexity of being an artist.
Yeah, I also realized that maybe we both went round and round to say the same things.
But it's beautiful, right? Because daydreaming is actually costing you, but at the same time, it's also bringing you your future.
It's so important. It's so
important.
Can you dream with your eyes open? That's where art is happening.
Yeah, I had once written this line which went like, I'm the most focused when my eyes are out of focus. And
yeah.
Do you relate with that?
That's sorry, but with a little bit of ADHD, what happens is that the more I'm looking at you, if I know you are a friend, that's a different story. But if I'm with random people, the more I'm trying to focus on you, the more lost I am. The more I am somewhere else, the more I'm in focus on what you're telling me.
So, while being easy on yourself is how you kind of bring yourself back to the present.
Yeah, this is a very big statement. You, as an artist, you're never easy on yourself. You are your own biggest critic. You are reprimanding yourself all the time. You even question your daydreaming. Here I can feel great about it. But in the moment, in the situation, I'm like, but in this time, I could have read the play. I could have watched that film. It's only later on when you're doing something and something strikes from the back, you're like, oh yeah, I can pick that up, I can do it. But the imposter syndrome comes to you as an artist. The lack of a fixed routine. Everybody goes to a job, you don't, and then you're accomplishing things in a very different way. Your journey is like, no, your day is like this, when everybody else's day is like that. So, you are, even in a world of films, there are very few actors and artists. Most of them are like doing their jobs, which are like fixed in a way of creating the film, being studio heads or whatever, you're like kind of lost. You are your own worst critic, Koi aur nahi bolega. Everybody will say, like you'll say, Arfi, I know you're a decent actor, you're doing good, you're doing production job. I am the one who's feeling like I didn't achieve as much today. To quantify what we do as an artist is very difficult.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. I'm not giving an output. What I'm doing is probably I've read a book that moved me, but there's no output of that. That output will come when I'm doing a part somewhere, and that change that has happened will come. So our output is zero. That makes you so frustrated, especially if you come from a different background, like from engineering, doing a job, doing data sheets, and making refineries to like.
You have outcome in every Excel sheet.
Abhi kya ho raha hai? I saw 2 films. Like I told you, I saw this show. I'm like so enamored. At the same time, I'm feeling like you wasted your entire Saturday and Friday night in watching a show. Now there's so much else to do. You must do something that is productive. You must talk to 5 more casting directors to get a job or do something else.
How do you balance this rationality and creativity, like this left and right brain thing?
You can't. You live with it. It's like if you're reprimanding yourself too much, you remind yourself to be kind to yourself. If you're being too kind and too lazy, then this part comes out, you know. It's like something you see around you will trigger you to be more productive. Something you see around you like, but look at them, they're like such, you know. This is the monsoon time, Maharashtra is so green. As an artist, my soul craves to travel. I'm in Bombay and that troubles me, you know. And if I'm shooting in these days outside Maharashtra, outside Bombay, because Bombay rains so much, then that troubles me that I'm not in Bombay, it's raining. I somehow feel this is my season, you know. So you live with all of this is life. I think all of us, even normal, like, you know, if you're not into art, you also live with all these contradictions that we do in life, yeah.
What has worked for you? Because even from the world's perspective, you have achieved charts. And as an artist, you have found some satisfaction and some clarity in why you are an artist. You've mentioned that you want to spread joy or spread emotions, not just joy, but emotions, and make people feel alive the way you feel alive.
Yes, yes.
So in all that, the imposter syndrome that you talked about, the fight for perfection that you talked about, what has worked for you in bringing yourself back whenever you tend to...
You know, I was, when you asked this question, I was thinking about this. My life has been great as an artist. I must be grateful. My firsts have been very special. First film was Slumdog. First film festival. I went towards Cannes. And I didn't know what film festivals are at that point. Probably in the second or third Cannes, I realized what film festivals actually are. You know, what, there's business, there's art, there's connections, everything that came to me much later. You know, I just jumped into Cannes. My first film was an indie film, Prague, that in its own way, you know, like the full-fledged role that I did was very, very special. Then I did a foreign film, a German film that runs on their national television even now, even before, you know, this whole trend started that which are the actors who've done international parts, and, you know, my name probably would never figure in that. So the problem started there. Post-pandemic or during pandemic, you know, there are these lot of posts going on that, you know, these are the 5 actors who've done international parts. And I'm like, but I'm not featuring them. I've done a German film. I've not even done a English Indian film that, you know, that traveled to London, or that's a co-production. I've done an actual international film. And the question you asked started coming there. That's where I started finding my peace as an artist, is that that's not my job. There's an ecosystem that kind of promotes certain things, doesn't promote certain things. It's all the business of it, you know. Who's going to be beneficial? Who's promoting, whom will benefit somebody else who's promoting, you know. There's a big, in a positive way also, there's a big business of cinema going on here. And I may not be fitting into that. Do I have the inkling to sit down and promote myself? No. Given a choice, would I try to put some money, put some effort into saying that my name should come into that, and, you know, put a machinery there? Or would I like to do another film like that? Or maybe just daydream or travel, you know. So my piece came there that as an artist, I don't want to do that. If that happens, it should be a consequence of the work I've done. I've done the work. I've done the work before most of them might have done. It's not being spoken about, great. But the work is there. The work lives forever, you know. एक बार जो छप गया, cinema में वो छप गया, अब आप उसको promote कर रहे हो नहीं कर रहे हो, is not my job. My job is done.
Yeah, when it comes into the forefront and when people start talking about it, you don't know. But because your point was not to top charts, like we said, art above chart, you have the power to create your own chart, is what you're saying. By which I mean the artist's brand. Like, your brand exists.
Or probably, you know, like in terms of the cinema, business of cinema, maybe I'll do something that will, as per them, is a chart. Then suddenly everything else that I've done would be in context for them. You know, that's when they'll look at it. But I don't care. From my side, like you said, it's about the art.
Right.
It should top the charts. Like we said, no, the headline of my first ever article was, fame should be a consequence of my work, not the other way around. You know, if it comes, it comes. But the work should keep on happening.
Which means because you had that clarity in the...
And also, don't you think charts come if you do the art?
Do the art, yeah, I mean that...
You have to have the faith.
It feels so fundamentally true.
Yeah.
But you need evidence for it around you, and you need people who believe in what you believe in.
All the time, every new artist, I mean every new person who also steps into the field of art will have this fear, I'll not be able to make it. The first attraction to art, generally, especially to films, happens through cinema, through this big canvas we see things into, and we are Bollywood-driven country. You know, we are driven by this huge cinema, you know, huge stars. So fame attracts you first. In the desire to be like, when I came here also, you know, after when around the time we did Fugly, you know, I spoke to Yash at some point. You know, I managed to get on phone with him, and the man was kind enough to get on phone and speak. But उन्होंने मुझे क्या बोला मुझे समझ नहीं आई. मैंने उनको बोला सर मैं पंजाब से हूँ, मैं आपसे एक बार बस मिलना चाहता हूँ, मैं आ जाऊँ. And he said something, यशी बहुत fast बोलते थे, मुझसे भी fast बोलते थे शायद. I didn't know if he said come and meet me or where come and meet me or do what. But he said, and he put the phone down. And he said, all good? I said, put the phone down. I didn't know if I should go, I should not go, where should I go? So मेरे दिल में भी सपना था कि मुझे कहीं यशी स्पॉट करेंगे और मैं भी रोमांटिक फिल्म करके सब करूँगा.
स्विट्जरलैंड में.
हाँ पर वो नहीं हुआ. वो we talk about it, कि 17 के बाद actually the growth and the picture started becoming clearer for me, Yes, she was also gone, and that I don't know how it sounds, but he was a part of my dream, and his not being there also was a part of a breaking of a dream of thinking that मैं कभी उनकी फिल्म में तो काम नहीं कर पाऊंगा. उनकी फिल्म में कितने ही एक्टर्स ने काम किया है. The few privileged ones who've done have been very lucky, and it has been added to their art, to their profile. It has been lifted in a different way. They're changed as a human being because they worked with such a great artist, So all of us probably wanted. मेरे जैसे शायद सारे एक्टर विश करते होंगे. So it's like सपना तो फेम ही है, but फेम से आप आर्ट पे कैसे आते हो वो आपकी जर्नी है.
Right.
The illusion of all of it through fame. Some people get stuck in forever. Some people live their life on those terms. Their lives shake accordingly. Some people in that whole process start finding art in themselves. And if you can find that, you'll have a longer journey in life as an artist, because it'll keep on, like we said, it's a continuum.
Yeah. We are also the time right now that we are witnessing, and we are lucky to witness, is this entire Indianization of the film industry in India. It's not just Bollywood or the South industry, it's all coming together. But you mentioned a very important perspective here of the international cinema. Like, there are very few Indian actors who have got a chance to be in international films. Which tells me is, if the people locally here get lost in their immediate ecosystem, they may not realize the possibilities or opportunities which exist.
The worlds are very different. Language becomes a major part of it, and also let's totally admit that the business is controlled very differently. You are a brown actor there, you are a brown actor, and there are many who've tried to do and break. There are very few like Priyanka who've broken the glass ceiling, and we are seen because she's seen, and many other people like her are seen. There are many other actors, many other producers, South Asian, brown actors, producers, black actor producers who've been fighting that industry there internationally, so that other ethnicities are seen. The change that is happening there is a similar change which is happening here. Earlier the fiefdom was the big canvas, but right now if you look at web series, so many new actors, so many new artists have suddenly shown. Now when you do a feature film, and you're not just looking at the two big names, your two big names can be whatever, you want to fill the rest of the gap with actors,
good artists
who have done great job and who have been appreciated by people, So that democratization is happening everywhere, but ecosystems, to cross them, it will be an artist's own determination. They are still not colliding, they are still not like...
How did you manage Prague? What was your journey?
How did I get...
How did you end up in a German film being an Indian brown actor?
I don't know. I mean, when I did that German film, we are an Indo-German company. We were doing some small reportages for ZDF, for Arte, for Discovery, for Digetto. So Digetto came up with this concept that they wanted to shoot in India, which is about fake drugs happening in India. And we went to government of India saying that this is the meanness that they want to talk about. And then Indian government, we all wanted to know exactly how they are portraying everything. Script back and forth, things got finalized somewhere, because I was trying to help them produce the film, do line production for them. There was a part, they were not telling me what the part is, and that they kept an eye on, and the casting started, and we started showing them different actors and all. They were not starting the casting of Kiran. So I would always ask my director that we should start that process also. The only main Indian actor that you have is probably this guy that we are not looking at, and he would always smile. In the whole process, he somewhere saw Kiran in me, and the day we sat down and we spoke about it, he told me that he saw my work, because they research who they are going to work with, and they followed that I'm an actor and this is all that I've done. And he said that because you fit the bill perfectly, we never looked at anyone else. Like I said, it just happened.
I would disagree with you here, Arfi, because you said the German film, the international film that you did, Gift, was just something that happened. I don't think it just happened. It's because you put the intent and the hard work and the commitment to even build Bombay Berlin Productions is how this business came to you, and through that the art came to you.
I mean, yeah, it's very
You're being humble here.
No. It's, without being humble, to take, if you have to take the credit for something, also you have to be very conscious of how you're taking it. I would not comment on that at all, but this takes me somewhere else. All the time. I have this complex that, and I also get this side comments from people saying that, oh, you build the company because you are also
going to be an actor.
going to, like use that and all. And I'm not denying that, if there's a part that comes up and if you pick up a project, and if there's a chance for me, I try to also dream to be a part of that. And I would like to leverage that also, but I don't do it because this complex is very big in me. I fight this thing that, am I doing it just because, I am the producer and I can swing things around for myself. This is the imposter syndrome again, Everybody else might be doing it, but when you're doing it and you're also like kind of in the process of getting it also, you are so worried, the noise in your head is so strong, it troubles you so much.
But you put the effort that it requires, you do justice to the part, and you hope or you long for the part, only the ones which fit.
Only the ones I can do justice to.
Right.
And in the company, I have only acted in probably one production that we did till now. Because that was the one that came to me and I brought that back to the company saying, okay, we'll produce it also as an actor. So also most of the times it happens that, the acting I keep very, very, very separate. Like right now we're doing Oranges Smell Like Turpentine, a project, I'm not acting in it. I look the part, I can be in the part, but my director feels that they need a different kind of a guy who has to look differently. The look is very critical for some parts. And then I'm backing off and I'm still, trying my best to produce it.
If I ever write my memoir or my autobiography, it's going to be called The Curse of an Intellectual Mind. Because you see too much, you analyze too much, because of which what happens is you go into this vicious cycle of either self-doubt or critically analyzing every step, movement, thought, action that you do. But you said, be kind to yourself.
Be kind to
yourself. I will repeat what you said.
But I will say, I'll add to that, ignorance is bliss.
It is
so
bliss.
many times,
Sometimes.
The more we evolve, the more aware we become, the lesser we start feeling, because we start seeing the expanse of everything, and that we are just a speck. That's very troublesome, the less you know, the more you own, the bigger you feel, the more majestic you are.
No, however funny or easy breezy it might sound, but again you actually, and I appreciate and respect this, because you again made it evident and clear how difficult it is to be an actor, because you need to know yourself in and out, and then you need to stop the noise from interfering with what you know about yourself, and then take decisions and live life as if, like you said, Bachchan Saab makes it look like it's so easy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Suppose there's a project, I'm about to shoot it and I've prepared for it. On the first day, every cell in my body will tell me to run away. I don't know if it's the same with other actors, thinking I'll not be able to deliver. This is the opening shot, whether I'll be able to do it or not. The beginning of any process is so difficult. You do the first day and the second day, and you start delivering, the confidence of everyone else on you, and your own confidence starts increasing. It's the same with every project. It doesn't matter how many films you've done. For me, it doesn't matter how many plays you've done. It doesn't matter how many days of preparation you've given. The self-doubt is...
But that's the humility, I would say, because the moment you start feeling confident, you will never know when it becomes arrogance. And this it's not self-doubt, I think, it's this nervousness. Even I feel the same, this little bit of nervousness is what keeps you...
the butterflies in the stomach.
Yeah, that is what keeps you going, that is what makes you humble, and that is what makes you deliver the best according to you.
Yeah, as long as they're butterflies, the moment they become dragons, you are in for a major problem. You need to really check, and like you said, like we said, be kind. Then you have to get back to believing that it will happen. It's not easy to be an artist, and let's acknowledge that. And I'm not acknowledging it for myself. I'm acknowledging it for everyone. There are the people I've worked with, and I've seen how hard everyone works when they're an actor. It's not about whether you had a good day and did a good job or a bad job. The process, the way you're hard on yourself, all of that is not easy. No.
You mentioned you collect rare books. From there, I want to just ask you, what kind of content do you consume?
You're putting me in a difficult spot. It's claimed to be the job of a producer to watch everything that comes out, so that you're well versed with it. You go meet a studio, you can say which shows they've produced, and which you like, what you liked about them. I am not that guy. I would have not seen probably most of the recent things you've done. I would only be able to watch something. You only have limited time. when I've read great things about it from the people I trust, and then I consume that. And earlier, I was so committed that if I'm watching a movie, even when the movie is bad, I would not leave it. I would feel that so many people have put effort into it. But now we are spoiled for choice in a way that as an artist, I'm very conscious of, like I know that this is not working for me, so I do not mind walking away from it happily. I know it sounds...
No, that takes courage.
Yeah, it's making me feel mortified if tomorrow my job is bad. Like I'm genuinely saying that somebody can walk away from it and not take guilt for it, because we are doing our best and we are putting our efforts. Some things work for some people and they don't. So, what kind of content? It has to move me. It has to make you laugh, or it doesn't have to be a complicated story. Though I'm a big fan of fantasy. I love Lord of the Rings type of shows. I love Harry Potter's. I loved Bachchan Saab in Kalki. That's mesmerizingly beautiful. I just can't get his eyes out of my head. All of us can't.
Yeah.
And then I equally love SRK. All of his films, and most of the places he's been there. So in terms of reading also, like I'm very selective. I get into esoteric content. I want to understand more about life, the quantum physics of it, how it connects to the to how we create our life, or trying to understand. I'm big on mythology. I really love Indian mythology. I do not like the way it's been a vocal art, where people have passed it on. We didn't have a writing form. It's such an old thing, Then I try to read different versions to find the truth which I find right. My truth out of that mythology, which has to stand the criteria of being, how credible it is, what's the integrity of the content, is it being discriminatory towards something, like towards women, towards any caste, gender, what is it trying to say for that time, and how kind that whole version gets to be, that becomes my version. So other than that, I love stand-up comedy a lot, I love to laugh, and one of the best things, if I do not care if I'm here in this room or in this party, somebody's laughing out loud, it's unabashed, unadulterated laughter, I would find you and become your friend. That's like that's I can't resist you then, that's my
jam.
That's my thing, that's my X factor, like that's, for me, that is the X factor in you. Are you so pure that you can laugh, and when the laughter comes, can you be unabashed about it? Can you just lift that emotion up? If you can do that, because it's so embarrassing. We all have different laughters. Are you like that pure that you just let it out? And then I'm like, oh, I gotta go hug that person. I gotta be their friend, or I gotta be their best friend. How can I just be around them? That's...
It's simple yet brilliant, because you're appreciating, again, just being yourself. Like whoever is just being themselves, you appreciate them.
Yeah, and I love to laugh. I love to laugh with people, laugh out loud. I think it's important. And
is LOL the most used?
It's such a great emotion. I think we are losing it. We're getting too serious in life. I understand the appropriateness of things, and I totally go by understanding and learning and doing the right things. At the same time, I feel that the culture of वो हम बोलते हैं ना उसको व्यंग्य का culture जो था हमारे उसमें, that should never die down. We should never get too serious that we can't take that. We should be able to make fun of ourselves and take it on us. It's okay.
Why so serious?
Why so serious?
All the time.
Why so serious? Yeah.
In all this, I think it's important for me to ask, and we will wrap up our conversation with this. While we talk about knowing yourself, while we talk about conquering the world, where does, or how important it is for you to stay in touch with your roots?
It's a very individual thing and journey. We all will go back to our roots. There is no other truth in life. You will reach your root, whether you reach at 70, whether you reach at 80, whether on your deathbed you realize that those was my roots, and you will not, I think you will not be able to pass on till you make peace with your roots, So initially I ran away from my roots. I didn't want to go back to Moga ever, to the place I grew up in. Then there came a phase in life where I felt that I'm so uprooted, and I've become such a vagabond. I define myself as a vagabond. You'll find in my old profiles somewhere even now written like vagabond, where I've probably not changed it, because I believe that I don't want roots, and I don't want to define myself by being at one place. To realizing that being an artist means as much not belonging as grounding yourself back to where you came from.
The simplicity of life, how it can touch you, and it goes back to the night at the beach. You've talked about after giving 1,000 auditions, this disappointment, and you sat on the beach and something happened. Tell us about what happened.
You know, this is the time when Secret had come, you know, or the world was getting
Rondabun.
yeah. And you know, I had, of course, you know, you check Secret, you check the movie and all, but I read Star Signs by Rhonda Byrne,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And in the beginning of her book, I think it's the 8th page in the introduction or whatever page, you know, she has this line, if you sleep with the honest desires in your heart and you sleep with that dream and that desire, at night when you sleep, those desires flow into ether and they get written, and the ethers move in such a way that, like, it's like wohi kainat, that the ethers move to bring your dream to reality.
Manifested.
It's not equipped, but I'd give auditions and, you know, get frustrated about it. Why is nobody spotting me? I had 6 packs. I believe I looked very, very good at that time. I would make heads turn, but I was not being spotted to be a hero, you know. And there I said that, you know, like, exactly what you remind me, that if I'm made of the same stardust, then the same stardust will move in a way that, you know, I'll become a part of something huge. And I think somehow I'd started getting into Oscars from 2004, seeing the speeches and all, and I don't know how it is now. I really have not outgrown them, or I've not come to the stage where I say, oh, I'm just an artist and I would never want to dream of that. I still dream of my Oscar in whatever way. So I'd said that I'll become a part of something that'll go to Oscars, and I regret that so much. I wish I'd said that I'd go to, like, rather than saying that I'd become a part of something that'll go to Oscars, I would have said I would get the Oscar. But that desire there was so strong, that it manifested Slumdog for me. You know, I never wanted to be a part of the movie at that time. I was called, and I was called for an audition. I met Loveleen. I said my lines. They were giving money. I needed money when I did that audition badly, because in Bombay, when I came to Bombay, my father, at some point, my mother said, if you want to bring him back, agar isko line pe leke aana hai, to cut the money. If you keep on sending him money, he's never going to come back. And I was arrogant in saying that I may have to live in a slum, may like downgrade my lifestyle, do whatever, I'm not leaving Bombay. So I needed money very badly. But when I came down, I was like, but nahi, to hero banne aaya, ek galat step mein gadbad ho jayegi. And I didn't have all this knowledge that I have now, you know, how to, or what I want to do. I've not found myself. So मैं नीचे आते ही मैंने कॉल किया वापस कि मैं तो नहीं कर पाऊंगा. And she was frustrated because I think Slumdog में मेरा बहुत छोटा part है. People were cast round the whole Mumbai industry. They didn't have many actors. She's like, look, we don't have many actors who speak English, just one line part. I'll double your money. And just come and show up and meet the director tomorrow at Sun and Sand. I mean, that's another thing I feel lacks in our industry, you know, for that one line part. I got to meet Danny Boyle. The fact of the matter is, I'm not trying to say that, you know, people are not, or the directors or producers are not as committed here, but I feel that there, the primary job of a director stays the actors. You know the camera lens, or you don't know the camera lens. You know the lighting part, you don't know the lighting part. There are specialists all around you for other things. Your primary job stays. Was your actor able to deliver or not? I come with all the tools, but I am at your mercy. It's the medium of the director. I ask you. We do scenes at different, you know, like we're doing the 28 scene as the opening shot, the first day shot. I would have prepared everything, but I still count on you. What am I doing here? You are the vision keeper, you know. And here most of the directors don't even meet the actors, you know. That's my kind of my disappointment, you know. Earlier casting directors, they broke into the scene, and that was so wonderful that as an actor I'd be called for an audition. I would be auditioning with someone who knows what the director wants. Either the AD from the film would be there if it's an important audition, or the casting directors would have proper brief, you know. They would have told whoever is auditioning what is the part, what is the character, what do an actor needs to do, the basics. Then you let your internal world create an action and, you know, surprise them or do whatever. Now they tell you to do self tapes. I'm being judged on a self tape where I have a ring light, I have a camera, somebody is giving me lines who don't know anything about the art. And like, you know, I just said that earlier that, you know, I don't care if it's the first AD giving me the line when I'm doing a scene, because I've already broken into the character. I know the character now. I've done the whole journey of the film. I know every line, so I don't care who's giving me lines. But at that time, I don't know nothing. I don't know the film. I don't know the script. I just have a scene. In delivering that scene, I need someone who knows what kind of an emotion to give me to react on. All of that is absent.
Did COVID change all this?
Yes, COVID changed all of that. People have cut down on budgets, or they're not spending on this, you know. They like maybe treating this part as the least essential part, that every casting to hi jayegi, actors know. Of course we all know our jobs, but वो मजा ऑडिशंस में आना बहुत कम हो गया, you know. Earlier an audition would also be something that I look forward to. Okay, we'll get to practice, we'll get to do something, you know, let's go, let's meet, you know, and you'll get to meet physically. We see each other's energies, and you know, things will settle down faster, you'll deliver faster. Now तो it's like a lonely process, you know. Again, camera लगा दो, पूछ लो क्या करना है, वो देखते हैं, feedback आ जाता है. It's like it's a strange thing. It's like it's become very mechanical.
Right.
It's become very mechanical, yeah. And that should change.
How will that change?
Producers and directors will have to start telling the casting directors that audition actors in person. Directors will have to start watching all the tapes again, which have come to them, and ask for more if they don't like it. They have to meet the actors, you know. I am not going to have the best day. I'm not a camera that you can charge and at 100 battery I perform well all the time, you know. I will have a good day, I'll have a bad day, but I'll try to do something in the audition. If you like something, ask for another one, you know. Give time to this process. We are all here to make a role come alive. But I feel that the less of the attention is going into that process.
You are an actor who knows the struggle, and the good thing is you're also a producer. So as a producer, how do you take care of the struggles of an actor which you have faced yourself?
Oh, so as an actor, when I'm on set, I totally understand that, you know, my demands are zero. I'm so low maintenance. I would not ask for anything. I'll be able to take care of everything because I'm a producer, you know. I don't know how to trouble. I know that it can become trouble to somebody who's handling 1001 things right now to make a film. But as a producer, I make sure that this one person who's going to bring the story alive
gets the attention.
Gets the attention, gets the comfort. You know, when an actor says, I need AC, it's not that they're being a diva, you know, the makeup is on. They don't want to go through that process again. When they say they need silence, it's because there's an inner world created that they want to bring out, you know. Some of us are easy, you know, we can go talk, switch off and then come back and switch on. Some of us need that time. When an actor says that they're hungry at a certain time or they're following some routine, it's for the, you know, it's for to deliver. They're also trying to deliver. And all those who are sincerely trying to deliver, they should be treated very well, and we take care of that. All those who are trying to be divas on set, you still treat them well, but you have a smirk because you understand it. I'm an actor also, so I get that part.
It's beautiful, right? The diversity of roles and the mindset that these different roles need for one film to come out. It's like, it is magic.
It's magic. No logic, only magic. No logic in any film. It's always the magic that happens.
With this, I want to ask you the last thing that I want to ask you. What would that 12-year, 13-year-old Arfi say to you today?
Are you serious? This is what we ended up with. What are you doing? I'm sure, you know. That guy loved to play outside. That guy loved to read a lot. That guy loved to, you know, study. And, you know, I was big time into understanding things. I don't know, you know, it just naturally, like instinctively came that he'll say, are you serious? This is where we've come. But, you know, I'm sure that if I'm happy, I'm sure inside my inner child is very, very happy, you know, very happy with where we've come.
What else comes to your mind as a wrap-up statement, thought that you want to leave?
Nothing. The same thing that, you know, Dinesh ji said, which is the mantra of life. To be a good artist, you have to be a good human being. Keep it as a mantra. Write it on the wall of your mirror, or on your wall, or on the mirror. Write no logic, only magic. Perseverance is something that's going to take you far. And you know that saying that's often attributed to Gandhiji, which we spoke about, but is from I think from a union leader from America. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. So I'm saying that whenever you're down, keep these lines in mind. I'm not saying you have to fight anyone. I'm not saying that you have to feel ignored and laughed at. But if you feel all of that, just believe that you're on the right path. Keep at it. Keep on creating your art. Keep on working on yourself, and you will shine. I hope everyone does. We all find our space under the sun.
Thank you so much, Arfi. It was brilliant. Thank you for coming to Voice of Artists.
Thank you for having me. It's probably one of those rare interviews where you get to think, where you instinctively also answer, but you know, kind of, you know, it's leaving me with so many other questions for myself, you know, to close my eyes and look back, you know, how far I've come, or you know, what will a 12-year-old Arfi say to me? I gotta figure that out.
You should find that out.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arfi.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.